Currently 9:49 in the morning. Let's just say it's about 10 o'clock. Sitting on 100% charge. Got an hour and a half drive ahead of us. We're going to check on some maps, see what the battery life is saying throughout the day, and see what a day in the life looks like with the all new iPhone 17 Pro. Let's get going. Alright, so we've got 2 hours ahead of us and about 100 miles to go as well. So we're probably going to stop for a coffee in the middle, but we will make sure that we're constantly checking the battery life to see what this phone's really all about. Cool, let's go.
We're 30 minutes in on our drive, and I thought, let me check out the front camera of the new iPhone 17 Pro. So we're in a dim light setting in the car right now, and it's not particularly very bright outside since the sun is not out, though we do have some natural daylight. So I thought, let me compare how the iPhone 17 Pro front camera looks compared to my old iPhone 13, and also a good chance to see the horizontal view of the front camera.
Cool. So what do you think about the camera then compared to your 13?
I think the picture looks much brighter. I can see all the imperfections on my skin, but no, I think I really like it, what we're seeing.
Do you think you would end up going for that thing?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Would you switch? If I was to give you this phone right now, would you switch?
In a heartbeat.
Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, looking at how wide that camera looks, especially when it's held in a portrait format, but then that square sensor's kicking in, it's absolutely fantastic. I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity though. I think they could have given us the option to do a 1:1 video, so a full square sensor, because I think we're losing the resolution on those corners. Because if you think about it, the square sensor, you either shoot portrait or you shoot landscape, but then in the corners, those extra sort of areas of the sensors are pretty much going to waste. But I think Apple somewhere realizes this. They might as well have this in one of the future updates. You never know. They could either do it silently or they could make a big deal about it. But yeah, either which way, from this distance, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty wide as well.
It does.
I didn't expect it to be this wide. I think it's pretty nice and wide. So we'll see exactly how it looks when the light goes further down. But I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's suddenly got a bit darker.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a bit dark, it's been quite a bit darker now because the clouds just come in out of nowhere in the UK. So, hey, perfect way to check out how versatile these cameras are. We'll keep you posted. Alright, so we're a little over an hour into the journey now. We've just stopped for a coffee. We'll just go into the services. And we're sitting at 88% battery life, which is actually pretty sick. If you think about it, we've been on Google Maps for about an hour, constantly tracking everything. Brightness is set to automatic, so it goes up, goes down depending on the weather. We've also been using the camera quite often, so that's actually a really good sign. Pretty strong battery by the looks of it. We'll see what the screen on time is saying by the end of the video. But let's keep going. I do need the coffee, and so does my partner. And yes, we'll continue on with the journey and keep you updated. As we go and look at the menu, we'll try and zoom in. Wow, oh my god, dude, look at how clean that 8x camera is. Maybe like 3, 4? Nah, 3 is fine. I don't know. Yeah, 3. Look at how clean this camera looks, man.
Insane amount of sugar.
I think that looks good enough, to be fair. I mean, no, you know what? Just put it in.
Do you want some cinnamon?
Cinnamon? Oh, hell no. Not my coffee. No. Believe it or not, but that's a lot of light for the UK. Like, the light is now coming back and it's absolutely beautiful outside. By the way, the dynamic range in this thing is absolutely killer. I'm recording in the ultra-wide camera and it looks phenomenal. Like, I can see the greens, I can see the sky, there's no overexposure. Unless it's exposing for that table, which in that case you can look at the top, that it just blows out the entire sky. But if you hold your camera just right, it's gonna get everything in. But this was pretty much everything we needed at the service. We've got the coffees. Let's switch to that 1x, 2x, and that 4x camera. Oh, there was a bit of a jump there, but that's fair enough. We've got our coffees. We'll continue our journey, and Well, I'm excited for Cotswolds. Yep, almost forgot where I was going. But yeah, I'm excited for Cotswolds, and we shall continue with the day in the life. Right, so before we start driving off, just very quickly wanted to check what the screen on time is looking like. So we'll head into the settings, battery. Oh, we're on 82% now because of course when we were inside we were using the cameras a little bit. VL battery usage, and we're sitting at 2 hours and 25 minutes of screen time, and we've only gone down about like 28%. Well, 18%. Cool, and I'm very, very impressed. Right, so we've just landed in Cotswolds. We're sitting at about 68-69% battery and almost 3.5 hours of screen on time. But one correction to the previous one is that I think it's also picking up some screen on time from last night, but I did end up charging the phone fully this morning, so we're gonna have to take away about 40 minutes from there. But comparing 3 hours 30 to 2 hours 50 with still about nearly 70% left, we're sitting at 68. 69 would be slightly better, but I think the battery is still looking pretty good. Also, because I don't know if you can see, but the background is really bright. It's picking up all the colors really, really well. The dynamic range on that front camera is looking sick, and the screen is still so easy to read. And I have to say that this has to be one of the nicest bright screens that I've tested, and this is coming from someone who's been using Samsung for a while. So I'm on the S24 Ultra, and that just doesn't look as bright as this. So I have to say that this is top class.
I think the camera is working really nicely. I'm enjoying how the pictures and videos are coming out. Thankfully, the sun is out, so we can fully utilize a good sunny day to take beautiful pictures, and I've been loving it. With it being such a sunny day, the screen is actually not giving me any troubles at all. I can clearly see everything. The screen is very bright, and I think it's automatically dimming and brightening itself up depending on how sunny or, whenever there's an overcast. So it's doing a very well job.
And what do you think of using the phone without a case? Would you rather put a case on, or would you?
It does feel sturdy enough, and I don't think it's slipping from my hands, but seeing all the reviews on the internet mentioning about the scratches, I haven't personally seen anything or, damaging on the body of the iPhone itself.
Right, so we're done with this part of the town now. So we're going to head to a different town in Cotswolds. But before we do that, another quick update on the battery life and the performance of the phone. We are currently at about 2:45 in the afternoon, and the battery is sitting at 56%. The screen on time is 3 hours and 54 minutes, but bear in mind we're going to take away those 40 minutes because it was picking up some time from last night. But with that being adjusted, that's looking at about 3 hours and 15 minutes, which is not bad. I mean, given the conditions that we're in today, super bright skies, we're using the camera quite often, we've been using the GPS on this thing the whole time, so completely maxed out screen brightness as well. This thing's holding up like a tank. I'm looking at about 6+ hours of screen on time by the end of the day, but we'll see how that rolls off. But for now, we're gonna head to the other town, and I'll give you an update when we reach. Alright, so just before we start to drive off, we've got about 20 minutes till we reach, but having some issues connecting with the internet properly. To be fair, this has been happening for the whole day now. Wherever my Samsung gets 4G or 5G, there's a good chance that the 17 Pro is getting E, or basically nothing, like right now. So currently it's got nothing, it's just running off of whatever. So if it finds something in the meantime, it'll connect, it'll give me the directions, but there's not much that's going on when it comes to data. I'm not sure if this is a problem with the antennas on the 17 Pro or if this is something that can be fixed with a software update. But even when it comes to the range or how much signal I'm getting, I'm sitting at about 2 bars where my Samsung is currently sitting at full. So this is definitely something that I'll need to check out for the full review, but just something for you to bear in mind. At least the maps are now working, so we'll continue and we'll see you guys in about 20 minutes. Cool, so we've already reached our next destination, but I really quickly wanted to touch on the heating side of this phone. I think Apple's done a pretty sick job with that vapor chamber cooling this time around, because although we were using this in the heavy sun the whole day with so much usage on the phone with full brightness and everything, but this is yet to even get warm on me, let alone hot. And I think they've done a really good job with the heating system or the cooling system on the phone. And you know what? Credit where credit due, they've done a pretty good job. They definitely have. It is such an enjoyable experience when it comes to vlogging also, because I don't have to stress my hand. I can just hold it normally in portrait and it does the job. And I've actually got a question for Apple. What magic? How do you do it? I've shot a picture directly into the sunlight and it balances everything perfectly. The shadows, the highlights, nothing's out of proportion. The dynamic range is sick. It is incredible. I know I'm glazing the cameras a bit too much, but I think it deserves it. Look at this. It's directly there. Well, probably not the front camera, but the back camera's nuts. How? Damn. 4 o'clock now, another battery update. We're sitting at 45%, still incredible. We did 20 minutes of Google Maps. We did a lot more pictures and videos since we've reached this town. And we're sitting at 4.5 hours of screen on time. And if we adjust that for, last night's usage, which it shouldn't have caught up, but it did. But we're still sitting at we're sitting at 3 hours and 50, which is incredible. 45% left in the phone. 3 hours 50 screen on time, nearing about 4 hours if you really want to just round it up. But damn, that battery life is lasting a bit too long. I think this could very well just be a 1 or a 1.5 day phone. And if you baby it, I'm pretty sure you can get about 2 days out. But so far, so good. Let's see if it's gonna last by the time we get home, which is still a while away. Still at 4 o'clock today. Well, let's see what time we reach home and let's see what the battery's like. Cool, so one final update before we start heading back home about the battery life. So let's just have that refresh. Gonna go into the battery, we're sitting at 42%, and the screen on time is 4 hours 37, which is basically 4 hours with everything adjusted. So 4 hours with 42% to spare in a whole day that we started before 10 o'clock today, coming up to 6 o'clock, coming up to 4 o'clock, past 4 o'clock now. I still think this is pretty damn good. And everybody had a lot of concern about the non-eSIM versions, which is this one, having inferior battery life. I think compared to the one with the eSIM, this will have slightly lesser battery life, but it wouldn't be the end of the world for anybody. So anybody in the EU wondering about the battery life, I think you're in pretty safe hands. I think Apple's done a pretty good job of optimizing the A19 Pro processor with that cooling as well, because it's yet to get warm on me. It's been out in the sun the whole day, taking pictures, videos. We've done pretty much everything with this, and this thing is yet to break a sweat. The animations still are just as fluid as ever. The screen looks just as good as ever. I mean, all round, this looks pretty damn good for an everyday phone. I mean, by no means is this going to be a full review. That will be out soon. But we're going to chuck Google Maps back onto it. We'll head home and we'll see what the final battery metric is saying when we reach home. But yes, I will update you when we're back home. So we're a little over 2 hours now since we left Cotswolds, and we're on our way back. Still have about 20 minutes left. We took a bit of a wrong turn, so sort of stuck there with the extra time. But I've just been notified by the phone that it's got 20% battery left. So I'm hoping that we should be able to sort of reach home and still have some charge left. By the end of this entire thing, I think we should very easily reach a little over 6 hours of screen on time. Last I remember was about 3 hours 50. I don't exactly remember what percentage it was at. But I think we're still looking okay for the battery life. Now 20% left, and we've still got about 20 minutes left till we get home as well. So hopefully it lasts all the way until we get back home, and I'll be able to give you an accurate figure for what the screen on time is. But we're looking good. So far, I'm still very happy with the screen on time and the battery performance of this phone, given all the situations that we were in today. I don't think anybody would be driving 2 hours a day one way every day with full peak brightness on and everything that was going on with this. But yeah, once I reach home, I will give you an update. Alright, so it's 7:10 in the evening. I'm finally back from the day. The drive back took a little bit longer thanks to a few wrong turns that I might have taken. But with all that being said, the final battery stats are in. We're sitting at 17% battery with a staggering 6 hour 48 minute screen on time from the app. But of course, we're going to take away 40 minutes because that is from last night. And just as a refresher, the phone was fully charged at 9:30 this morning. But because I was using the phone for a little bit after midnight, it has racked up those 40 minutes. So just as a rough idea, over 6 hours of screen on time, still got 17% left. Absolute tank of a phone. Long day, using that maps the whole time, using the cameras quite a bit, and just an overall tanker of a phone. So as long as the battery life is a main concern, this phone is not a problem. Your battery life is solid, the screen is looking pretty damn good no matter where, the cameras are absolutely brilliant. Of course, there's a lot of things that are left for the full review, so I will make sure to dive into a lot of detail when it comes to that. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys later.